Hey, welcome back to another episode of Combos and Cohesions with your pal, Maindeck Perfy. Today, we're going to be talking about the Searing Rebuke combo and cohesion that works incredibly well in multiple deck archetypes. So let's jump in and take a quick peek at what Searing Rebuke does. Searing Rebuke is a 2-cost, fast action, spell reaction that's got Cleric class bonus. What it says is prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to your champion this turn. In class bonus, this is where it's important. Whenever damage is prevented this way, deal 3 damage to target champion you don't control. So thus, if someone's attacking you for 3 or 1 or 2, you'll get a 3 health or 3 damage buffer, where whenever damage is prevented, assuming you have Cleric class bonus enabled, you get to deal 3 damage every time this triggers. So if they attack you for 2, you'll have 1 shield left over so that you could potentially do more damage to them as well. However, let's look at some of the cool combos and cohesions that this works alongside. This works alongside Fractal of Sparks, which has Cleric class bonus, where you tap Fractal of Sparks, deal 1 damage to target champion, where you could deal 1 damage to yourself, which then procs the Searing Rebuke and does 3 damage to target champion you don't control. Thus, instead of dealing 1 damage with Fractal of Sparks, it turns into 3. As well as if maybe you're sneaky and have a couple of Fractal of Sparks out, you could do this more times than 1. You could even potentially get the full 3 value out of your Searing Rebuke by dealing 1 damage to yourself, having it being prevented, dealing 3 damage to your opponent, and then doing that 2 more times for each of the 3 damage prevention from Searing Rebuke. Thus, instead of doing 3 damage from your Fractal Sparks, if you add it to the Searing Rebuke, it does 9 damage to your target opponent. Pretty nifty, huh? Something else that you could do is you could cast Searing Rebuke when you plan on attacking with Impact Hammer, and thus the 2 damage, or the 3 damage rather, that's Impact Hammer's on attack triggers is all prevented and deals 3 damage to your opponent, thus making it so Impact Hammer doesn't have the drawback for this turn, giving you the ability to attack with it, as well as dealing 3 damage with your Searing Rebuke. It's pretty nifty. Finally, Fabled Ruby Fate Stone. If your opponent is playing Guo Jia, this is a prime ability for you to be able to use Searing Rebuke for. Fabled Ruby Fate Stone says, at the beginning of your recollection phase, deal 1 damage to each champion, thus giving you a prime opportunity to cast Searing Rebuke in response to your opponent's Fate Stone trigger to prevent 1 damage and deal 3 to them, thus giving you 2 damage prevention still remaining for the remainder of that turn. Super nice, huh? That's a pretty big damage swing in all honesty, and it generally turns the tides of the game into your favor in a lot of situations. Anyways, that's Searing Rebuke for you. Please tune in and check in some more. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what your favorite cohesions and combos are. That's Perfy, out.